I'm excited about this session because we have two automation leaders. All they do is automation. And in fact, Danny, did you all know this? His email signature is the greatest I've ever seen. Robo Dan. All right, and we were joking, I'm gonna be agentic Chris by 2026. Just shows the passion, a little humor behind it, but absolute passion here. All right, let's hop in. We'll start with Robo Dan. I'd love to hear just how'd you get into the automation space? What's your journey? Was there an inflection point in that journey? And it can't be I fell into it, please.
I would say it's a compound of various different life experiences. That probably starts with, let's say, trust, helping people, and then just curiosity. So I would say, for example, my first job out of high school was an HVAC technician. And it really, if I think of it from a career perspective, probably really started my automation journey. So it was right at the time where they started integrating Wi-Fi and remote control and apps with thermostats, right? So a really cool way to be able to control your air within your home by automating it, right, essentially, right? And then I think over time, I built the trust, right? So I'm one of those, or I was one of those old school people where no matter, up until about 2015, I needed to go pick up my physical check from the person and go to the bank and cash it until I finally had a job that forced me to do direct deposit. And I didn't understand how amazing that automation in my life was until about 2015 when I was forced to do it, right? So for example, every Friday after work, I'd have to go to the bank. Hopefully it's before the bank closes, so I can actually go out and do something fun on a Friday night. If not, then I actually would have to wait till the next day. Or if I get there, I'd maybe wait an hour and a half in line just to cash my paycheck, right? And so the trust that every Friday morning, like I would have money in my account and I could go spend it and probably waste it all that very same night, led to my trust of automation. And then I think just the various different skills and various different things I picked up along the way with the various different jobs and being able to help people. Because in my mind, automation is really here to help everybody. And I'll always remember the first bot that I was part of deploying. It was to help the human resources team, and the lady, she didn't even care the fact that it was helping her completely automate the operations. It was more so the fact that it gave her 30 minutes back to finally take her lunch and have a cup of coffee, kind of de-stress, and kind of reset herself.
I love it. And the theme of builder, I think, comes through within the automation community. Captain Sanchez, same question, just your personal journey. How did you become an automation leader?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity, and really got to connect with Danny Becky over a year ago to really learn the ropes of hey, Marine Corps, very much professionals at if someone's already doing it, copy, paste, and try to do it in a way that makes you succeed. So for me, I had the opportunity to do a computer science program at Naval Postgraduate School, which opened up a position for me at Headquarters Marine Corps with programs and resources. And lo and behold, maybe a couple months in, I had a really awesome leader. His name is Colonel Cox, who was actually encouraged by Mr. Koval, who got to speak a moment ago, to say, hey, we got a couple developers added to a contract. I need you to employ them and make something happen with automation ASAP. And so got to partner up with a really awesome subject matter expert in the field, in the financial management field, Chief Financial Officer Boxley, and we really had a lot of fun over this past year.
I love that mentorship, bringing you into the community. So we talked about the future of automation. We talked about the looming resource gap in the keynote. Danny, how do you envision your automation program and investments to evolve to meet that gap?
So I think there's a fine line of one, adopting new tools such as document processing intelligence tools, agentic AI, and other various tools that can help us achieve the audit opinion and enhance our operations. But then also to ensure that we can train and equip our personnel to be able to empower them to go and build out robotic process automations and tools, right? So we need to be able to provide the tools to them. So within the Department of Navy, we have a enterprise licensing program for robotic process automation software that we provide to the department. And if your command or organization is interested in automating, we can help get you started. And then we also have training programs, right? Our citizen developer training program. And this is kind of like the train and equip methodology, right? So training personnel who have no prior IT experience, no prior coding experience to be able to learn how to develop robotic process automations and then go and transform their own operations within their organizations. And then kind of change how their organizations and commands deploy their strategy and their digital transformation efforts as their operations change over time.
Citizen development is alive and well. Is this true?
Yeah, so we've done 2 cohorts, about 40 participants. We've deployed over 20 automations through those various different participants. They have saved over 30,000 different man hours that have now been refocused on other strategic initiatives. We actually have somebody here from BSO 12 at the secretariat level who participated in that program, and he's gone on to build several other automations, within his own organization. So it's alive, well, and we're excited for cohort 3 this summer.
It's fantastic. And Captain Sanchez, same question to you in terms of the future of your program, given the changing environment.
Absolutely. I think we can all agree that we see the workload is at a best scenario either staying the same, but more realistically, it's increasing. So with that demand increasing and really the hands that we have available at the table, there's a growing gap. So I think what I see is really a very perfect time to integrate a lot more of these tools, make it accessible and easy to use for people. So I really appreciate what Danny mentioned about the Citizen Developer Program. But what I would say at our scale, at the headquarters, programs, and resources level, what we focus on for me and my team is we essentially offer this package of support for people. So if people have a little bit more bandwidth, it's an awesome opportunity to plug into one of those courses. If they don't, because for any number of reasons, they're short-staffed, they handle a lot of important financial operations specifically, then that's where my team and we come in, we help assess and kind of walk them through this whole process to essentially give them something that gives them their time back. Or for example, gives them the ability to expedite the most tedious part of their work, but then be able to do what they were actually hired to do, which is their analysis or their type of special skill set. That's what we're enabling people to do. And I think that's something that's really the way of the future, is being able to have kind of like a one-stop shop, someone who can help you internal to at least your headquarters element is really the direction that we're headed in, and be able to make an impact in that way.
As a follow-on, I hear this theme of toolkits or maturing your program with process. I mean, how did you both do that? And was it industry partnerships? Was it a lean team under your management? How did that happen?
For us specifically, it was, like I mentioned, with the vision of where we were going for Marine Corps, having 2 years of a clean audit opinion or an unmodified audit opinion, knowing that there was a lot of inefficiencies discovered along the way, so there's a lot of opportunities. So we know, and there's just a little bit of a time lag between knowing that we need to do better and then how do we do better. So it happened to work out that with one of our existing audit support contracts, we had a team of developers added, and we just got to work. And everything does take work. It doesn't happen overnight, but the payoff is there when you're prioritizing the proper things that have the good ROI, that have impact, and really are making a difference in not just all of the financial statuses, but also I think about the people, because they're the ones that are doing that work. And if you can equip them and give them a little bit of their bandwidth back, a little bit of the peace of mind back, that knowing that they don't have to be the ones doing every single step of the process, I think that says a lot about equipping and empowering an organization.
I love that, and I'm glad you brought us into the session was titled Audit. We wanted to set the stage with their automation expertise and leadership. And I'd even like a quick round of applause for Marine Corps achieving a clean audit opinion. I mean, hooah, I like that. I like that.
Two of them.
Two of them. Setting the bar, back to Danny on audit readiness. Have you seen any practical ways to drive automation within either the audit readiness or the actual audit process itself?
Yeah, so I think, right, obviously robotic process automation does really well when there are a lot of manual, redundant, and time-consuming procedures, which, as you heard by Greg, right, 7 days a week, 13 to 14 hours a day, you're doing a lot of that manual, redundant, time-consuming procedures. You're going out and gathering key supporting documents for whatever request that the auditor has your way, right? So there are bots that can go out there and pull key supporting documents. Say, for example, within the Bureau of Navy personnel, right? They not only have to respond to the financial statement audit request, but they also have to perform audit requests for the Payment Information and Integrity Act, right? Which really is to ensure that your military personnel are paid timely, they're paid correctly and accurately, right? And so through automations that have helped their team to be able to not only pull various different key supporting documents for both audits, but has also allowed them to prove that they have the lowest military improper payment rate across the DoD. So it's been able to help bring back time that they were spending full weekends pulling all these various different documents, and also will prove that they are doing the right thing and that personnel are getting paid timely and accurately.
Incredible you're both leaning into that Pentagon initiative that's been out there a couple of years now. All right, we're into bonus time. We get the bonus question. This is great. We're on time. All right, the bonus question. You're an automation leader, Captain Sanchez. What is one best practice you would like to impart on the audience here?
I would say throughout my leadership experience is culture of excellence. I think that goes a long way, whether you're doing whatever your main effort type of work is or looking for ways to streamline and automate, is keeping that at the forefront of your mind. If your effort is towards that excellence level, then you're gonna do everything a lot better and think outside of the box wherever possible. So I think that's super huge, and leadership makes such a difference, and it takes just enough of the right people who have that vision, have high standards, and also want to create a better experience for everybody. And I think that really comes through.
Peter Drucker, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Do you hear that one? All right, Robo Dan, you're gonna take us home here.
I agree. I want to foot stomp the culture part, right? I think, it's obvious here within the Department of Navy, we have some great leaders. Ashley was here, Greg was here, Stuart's here speaking this morning. You have to be able to instill in your people to take risks and that you will not receive any judgment or bad performance reviews when something goes wrong, right? Or something breaks, because throughout development, things are going to break, and that's kind of how you get better. And then I would just say, just go and do, because it's not hard. I tell people anybody can do it. I was an HVAC technician, and look, now I'm doing automation stuff. It's really not hard. It just takes a little bit of time commitment, persistency, and a good attitude, and you'll get there.
These are the folks that are gonna bridge the 600 million hours. Thank you so much for what you're doing for our country, and appreciate the service.